Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Table Talk. I'm your host, Jake Combs, and tonight we are going to be taking a look at the Stormdrake Guard and Karondus, the son of Dracothion. I'm not sure exactly how that's supposed to be pronounced. So we'll go ahead and get started. Both of these items are on pre-order currently and will be available this coming Saturday. And they also were provided for the purpose of our review and this video by Games Workshop. So let's go ahead and get started. So we're going to save the crown jewel for last. So let's go ahead and get started with the Stormdrake Guard. Now, with the Stormdrake Guard, there is also an alternative loadout that you can choose, specifically the Knight Draconis, which basically allows you to do him and one Stormdrake Guard in the box, where I had originally believed that the Knight Draconis was going to be in its own separate box. But they are in fact just an alternate sculpt that you can build with here. Now the plus side to doing that is that you're going to be able to do some other customizations, so that way if you do more than just the two Stormdrakes, you're going to have a lot more room to customize their appearance, so that way each one will look more unique. Now, with the instructions, this is actually a much thicker assembly guide than I expected. But we do have the multi-toned assembly guide that I'm personally fond of. Makes finding exactly where each piece is going to go much easier. And so we have, let's see, how many pages is this? So 15 total pages, 16 if you include the informational page just about the sculpt options that you can do. And then, so we have our flying stands. One of them was wedged in there pretty tightly. And then we have, looks like 2 full sprues and 2 bases. Now each sprue, looking at it, looks like we'll make for 1 dragon each, or Dracothion, I believe that they're called. Now what's interesting is, okay, here it is. For the Knight Draconis, it showed the flaming sword, which is right here. And actually, let's check this out. So the sprues looked very similar as far as how they were laid out. So there is some similarities, but they're not exactly the same. So you are getting 2 unique sprues in here. Now, with the wings alone, there is a ton of detail on these. Bring that a little bit closer. Hopefully it focuses on there for you. But there you can see a lot of the scales, just even in the membranes of the wing, as well as on the body of the dragon itself. The fire coming off of the sword is beautifully done. I mean, it looks so organic, like it's just part of the sword. And I mean, in addition to the scales themselves being highly detailed, even the Stormcast have themselves that are writing have a significant amount of detail on their armor. Some of the kind of the, it's not really chainmail. I'm not really sure what that kind of armor is called, but it's kind of more almost like scale-like itself, but a lot more flexible than like the plate mail would be. But like the shields themselves too, just a ton of detail right here. I mean, these guys are really going to stand out, and I mean, with just the amount of detail alone, I could easily see them becoming like a centerpiece to an army. And with the new rules, if you do have one of the dragons as a general, that these Stormdrake Guard are battle line. So that definitely gives you a lot more options as far as fielding more of them. But those sculpts are just fantastic. Now I know there was a change to the points. I'm just looking to see if it shows what the points are on here. Okay, so it doesn't. From what I remember, I want to say it was something like a 10 or a 20 point increase per model, or per unit rather. But I'm not 100% certain on that. And so let's go ahead and take a look at the other one. I assume we're going to see a lot of the same thing. Here we have 2 additional shields where the other one only had 1. So it gives you some options there if you want them all to match, or if you want individual shields. And even, with the second dragon, I expected no less with the wings and the scales themselves just to be full of detail. And it is an absolutely fantastic looking model. I mean, even just looking at it on the sprue, I am really excited to get in there, start building with these, start painting them, and try them out on the tabletop. Now, personally, I have never been a big fan of the Order Grand Alliance. For me, it's always been either the undead or or some variation of chaos. And with these new models, I mean, it just has me so excited to try out Order. Dragons in general were what first brought me into the hobby. As far as like Warhammer Fantasy is concerned, where prior to that I had only played 40k, and when I found out about the dragons and saw some of those dragons, like the High Elf dragon and like the 2-headed dragon that they had for Chaos, loved the sculpts, fell in love with them right away, and kind of went all in on Warhammer Fantasy. And so to see them bringing back dragons in a big way has me really excited, and definitely want them to be the center point of my Order army that I'm now starting to build. And which is funny because prior to these being announced, I had always said that Order was never something I was going to play. I don't like playing the good guys, and then they came and announced these bad boys, and so I'm definitely eating my words now, because I am very excited to give these guys a try. And then plus with the new Stormcast models that they came out with Dominion, and since then, I mean, they look fantastic. By far the best Stormcast looking individual units that they've had, pretty much since the beginning, in my opinion. But I still wanted to always go with those classic bad guy armies myself. Now, on to Krondys. Krondys gives you, in this one box, we can build both Krondys and Karazai, the Skard. So you do get 2 assembly options as well out of this box. So with this, it's 18 total pages. Of course, the last 2 pages are more kind of showing you some of the different angles, so that way you can kind of decide more on which style you like better. Now, out of the 2, the Karazai, the Scarred, is by far my favorite of them. But I'm hoping to get a second one of these, if not more, honestly, because being able to mix and match some of them to create some more unique dragons is also going to be something I would like to do. And if I'm lucky, I would like to eventually have 3, 4, more of these dragons, all of them trying to be very unique. Definitely going to be doing some kit bashing in that regard if I am able to get more. But as far as these go, at the bare minimum, I want to build both Karondis and Karazai. I know that it's definitely going to be a big time sink for me to not only build but also paint one of these dragons. And what I'm leaning towards right now is going with maybe like a neutral color scheme, and magnetizing the limbs, so that way I can alternate between the different models in case I want to try one over the other. So definitely looking into getting some good magnets that would work for this. If you guys have any suggestions, please leave them in the comments as far as the magnets you've tried. But I want to say it's like something like N95 or something like that, N35, something like that is what I was told is the ideal magnet for using with the miniatures. Now we do have, it looks like 2 full sprues and then 1 partial. Now with the partial one, we do have pieces of, looks like a Karazai's face. We have the base itself, and then parts of the arms and the feet, and then some more of the rubble for the base. But the detail alone, just on the face and the base, are absolutely stunning. Like, it surprises me. Well, sorry, it doesn't really surprise me, because I've been dealing with Games Workshop models for many years now, but it still blows me away seeing how much detail they can cram into just a single piece like this. I mean, this thing is just overloaded with detail. You have, looks like a lot of dirt kind of going up around these ruins where the dragon's gonna be standing. This broken archway that's gonna sit on top that also has just a ton of detail. These broken pillars that are definitely torn up. I'm guessing that you're probably gonna have like a claw kind of resting in them, like it tore a chunk out. Just so much detail, so much character just in this sprue alone. It's impressive, and I am really looking forward to getting in there and building with these and painting them. Now, I have seen some of the other painters out there that have received advanced copies of these as well. One of them actually did a fantastic kit bash of a zombie dragon with a, I want to say it's a vampire lord that was on it. Or no, it was the necromancer lord. And I mean, the person that did that paint job, that assembly, like I saw some of the earlier steps where they were first building it and doing some of the green stuff on it, and it was just absolutely stunning. I mean, it did not even look like the same dragon by the time he was done with it, or she. But it was absolutely stunning. And now, so here's the second piece with the Stormdrake Guard. As I was saying before, there was a lot of detail. You could see a lot of the scaling on even the membranes of the wings. This is no different, but obviously with the size of this dragon, some of the scales are definitely much bigger. We have one partially folded wing right here. but even in the little gaps in between the bones where the membrane is, you can still see a ton of detail there. I mean, it is absolutely breathtaking how much attention to detail they've done. And like in Karazai's neck, I mean, there's just so much going on here with the scarring. I mean, it blows me away. Their attention to detail, the model itself is just absolutely fantastic. I absolutely love these models. Like I said before, I can't wait to get started with building these and start painting them as well. I mean, even the hair coming off like near the elbows and the knees for the dragon, just a ton of detail there as well. Even the chips in the tail itself for some scarring. And now this is one of the biggest bases I will have ever worked with. Definitely looking forward to working on that. I know previously one of the biggest ones I've done was for the Chimera, which is definitely an oval base. It's about the same length as this is in diameter, and just obviously much thinner on the width. And that had been the biggest model I had ever done. And recently I had actually done one of the Karak Overlords flying ships. I can't remember the exact name of that model, but it was the biggest of the flying ships that they have available. And so doing that, again, the biggest model that I've ever painted, and now being able to get my chance to try my hand at something as massive as Krondys or Karazai, I am very excited to test my talents out and really get in there, build it, and paint it. Like I said, I am very excited about this. Can't wait to get started. I know that I'm currently working on doing the Cursed City models that I have, and had actually about a week ago finished all of the heroes for it, and as well as some of the main villains. And so now I've moved on to the skeletons that are currently I'm working on at the moment, and then from there that leaves me with all the zombies and I believe it's the Vargisir. I always get that big creature's name wrong, but those are currently what I'm working on. But my plan is that as soon as I get those done, basically knocking them out as fast as I can. So, and as soon as I do, I am going to be going straight at these three dragons and giving them the attention that they deserve. I'm hoping to have that done within the next month or so, and if I am able to achieve that, then I'll be sure to actually share that with you guys and bring it on the show, so that way you guys can check it out. But that's it as far as Age of Sigmar is concerned. We do have a couple other episodes that are coming out tonight as well. Now, of course, depending on how quickly they all upload, because they'll be uploaded all at the same time, the orders might get a little bit mixed up as far as the order that they're posted versus the order that they were filmed. But we'll get them all up as quick as we can. And wanted to say thank you to everyone that for watching the show. Thank you to Games Workshop for sharing these wonderful models with us. And as always, well, I already said it, but thank you guys for watching. You have yourselves a good night. Thank you.